We don't wanna hear you sing with niggas no more.
Get dressed up, let's go. Get wet, let's roll.
You guys, so nice to see you again. If you're listening in, I'm going to talk about music and artistry in general and kind of navigating collaboration, and then also a bit of my experience as a Black woman in a male-dominated industry and how collaboration works for me in that case. Okay, so I've been getting feedback, and typically I don't listen to people because my music is a therapy for me and a release for me. I make it for me first, and then if you resonate with it, that makes me very proud. But I get feedback sometimes that kind of confuses me. Um, and people ask or tell me that they prefer if I don't collaborate with men so much. And I hear you, even if I don't necessarily understand where you're coming from. So I will post more of my demos on SoundCloud. I do have a lot of music by myself. You may not have heard it because I don't know what kind of music you listen to, so I'm not sending it to you. But it definitely exists. And if you actually keep up with me, you'll hear it. So I'm going to do that. And I chose SoundCloud specifically because I've been thinking about ways to share more of myself with you. Without it having to be polished and perfect and finished, because I have a lot of things that I'm working on and demos, but they're not to the level I want them to be yet, or I'm just experimenting with it. That's kind of how I am with music and art. I do a lot of things experimentally and see, oh, maybe if I try this or try that, and it may not be what you expect, and it may not sound like something that you're used to listening to, and that's not really my issue. That's more so a matter of you being open-minded. I listen to music the same way that I view art, and I expect every individual to be unique and to have their own way of doing things. And that kind of makes me appreciate it more, the uniqueness and authenticity and determination to completely be yourself, even if it's not popular. Okay? So, it's no shade, but I do want you to get to hear my sound. And so you'll get those solo demos every once in a while that you can hear. And they're not going to be anything like you've heard from me before. They're very, very different, even genre-wise. I don't make a lot of hip-hop music when I'm just on my own. I don't make a lot of rap songs. That's more something I do in collaboration with other people because it's time for me to have fun and just do something a little different from what I regularly do. Okay, so I want to give you that Lenore roar that be having niggas in a chokehold so you can understand. And I get it, and I have to ask, if you have a problem with who I collaborate with, or you want to bring gender wars into art, why aren't you collaborating with me? I feel like if you're really particular or you really like somebody and you have access to them, and you want to hear something specific from them, why aren't you taking any initiative? Everybody has something to say and no one has any action, no initiative. And there's no shade, but women and queer people in music have to do much better. And I don't mean that you're doing something wrong. I just mean that when it comes to community building and team building, there is a disconnection sometimes. And I think you're doing great and overworking yourself music wise, actually. But we have to see the relevance and the need for community and the need for collaboration. It should not be forsaken in the process of creating art. I love us and I want us to thrive, right? But that comes with stepping out of our comfort zones. Some of the greatest rappers that also happen to be women were in groups with men. Go back in time and please tell Lauren, Kim, and Nikki that they need to be solo artists start to finish in order to appease you. If you're well versed in hip hop history, you'll see the power of groups and of collectives and collaboration. It doesn't dim anyone's light and it doesn't take away anything from you to learn, teach, and build with others. It actually is beneficial to you in the long run if you can show how versatile you are and how you can kind of do anything with anyone and still shine. But I mean, if that's not something that's important to you, don't utilize it. I've seen lots of women who I think are amazing artists that just work alone. And I personally don't think I want to set myself up to be further alienated in a male-dominated industry. Okay. Um, so I think that we need to work with whoever we need to work with, and people need to be more open-minded instead of judgmental about who and how Black women navigate the music industry and who we choose to collaborate with. Based on what ultimate goal we have. Okay. Um, I know sometimes your feminism overrides everything for you, and you don't realize that working with others puts you in a place as an independent artist that you don't always have to be burnt out. And sometimes those others, as independent artists, we do a lot on our own, and we need to learn to band together. That doesn't mean you have to collaborate with somebody and work with the same person forever, but find people who align with your goals. Have a business circle, an artist collective, a team, and some collaborators on your level, not just upwards, but also side to side, with the same mindset, drive, and probably some diverse creative skill sets, and start forming community that way. I don't want to assume why some women work alone. There could be a myriad of reasons. I know it's easy to be guarded and to be standoffish. I know people don't want to be taken advantage of or misguided. I know sometimes we feel like we have to be completely independent and rely on ourselves to get things done right. And that is something deeper psychologically for us beyond the spheres of music. So I get it. I get that women don't always have great experiences with each other. We're going to encounter a lot of different personalities and they can clash. I get that women have countless reasons why working with men can be a complete turnoff. And I'm not going to list all of my grievances today. I get that some people don't want the clashes that can come with collaboration and competition, but I don't think we should miss vital growth opportunities by closing ourselves off to the possibility of creating with other unique human minds. So let's let go of perfectionism and imposter syndrome and jealousy and conformity too. Let other people be themselves and control their own narratives, and you be yourself and stop worrying about what other people might think. We all bring something interesting to the table, and it's okay to dibble and dabble until you find exactly what you like and what works for you. Everything won't be perfect all the time, but it does matter that you try. I know in terms of female rap and collaborating with men in this instance, that sometimes people will argue whether certain artists' early work is their own work, and it can be proven that men even write for other men too. So somebody had something to say and somebody else had a platform to say it. And I personally, I prefer authenticity, and I think it's fundamental that we acknowledge that there are skewed images of both men and women in hip hop when viewed through the lens of exploitation and exaggeration of characters in order to sell an image. And with that, there are concerns about the image that men want women to fit into. And the beautiful thing about independent artistry is choice. It's a very empowering lane, regardless of who you work with, in the sense that, you kind of get some creative freedom and control. That's one of my favorite things about being an independent artist and being a lyricist and a vocalist who writes my own stuff and kind of makes my own choices, is that I get to set my boundaries. Whatever morals that I want to show, as few or as many as I choose, I can show them as I please. And I get to say what I want to say in my own way whenever I want to say it. I control my own narrative. I've had experience working with someone who didn't like that I wasn't speaking about the things that they wanted me to speak about or aligning with their agenda. And the great thing about that situation is that I wasn't signed to them and I wasn't contracted. And so I say what the fuck I want to say. And if you don't want to release it or you don't want to work together anymore, we don't have to. It's, you tried it and it didn't work out and you move forward. So I think human voices and perspectives are important. And, you know, I care about the stories and lifestyles that people are actually living. I don't have interest in pretending or holding myself to a rigid standard or letting somebody else tell me how I have to be and what I have to say and how it has to come across. Um, I sing my life and shun my pain, but I will not kill me to appease others. Everybody doesn't have to like what I say or what I do or how I do it or who I do it with. But I'm proud to say that I'm always writing my own shit from my own perspectives, centering me, my experience, my feelings, my wants, my needs, my pain, my purpose, my struggle, and my triumph. Sometimes it might be fit for a greater good, and sometimes a woodchuck would. I get to have fun. I'm saying my piece and my piece. We don't have to relate on the content, but that context matters so much. I think parts of who I am can make it difficult for people to accept me, even without knowing me, but I don't worry about things like that. This is my safe space. That's what music is for me, and I have to use it to the best of my ability. I don't have to know who's going to relate to it, and I don't have to know if somebody cares about it. I just have to say what's in my heart. I don't live in a world where people are always friendly to people like me. I face prejudice and discrimination on many fronts, and that's one of the reasons why I love music so much. And even if you don't want to hear my voice, you cannot erase it. Music is how we share intimate moments and public statements. I am human too, and allowed to be that, with the good, bad, and ugly. This is my human experience. This is my story. This is my art. This is my right. Music is storytelling. Music is art and expression. Music is an experience. Music is a universal emotional connection. It tells you a lot about a person and can help you discover a lot about yourself too. We should utilize it to speak about the world we live in right now, from our point of view, as well as the world as it could be, for the things we hope to see. I think sometimes people worry that they can't be a loudmouth like me, or stifled and have a hard time. I think in life we are often told to behave and to squeeze ourselves into a box to be acceptable, palatable, but good girls don't get too much done when they're too busy doing as everyone else so audaciously directs them. Girl, go outside, be loud, talk about your work, show your ass. Not literally, but if that's what you like to do, get paid to do it. Bitch to whoever is at large and pitch to whoever is in charge. You know your intentions and motivations. Stop worrying about rumors. People are going to talk about you regardless. Make sure you make yourself unforgettable. Seriously. And beyond music, just start showing up and taking control of your life and your path if you believe in your purpose. I built great networks and great relationships just knowing people who say my name in the room when I'm not there. It's showing my face in big, small, and in between places. Supporting communities I claim to love, even if it's not my turn to be in the spotlight. Speaking to people everywhere. Treating everybody like somebody, even if it eats at somebody else's ego. Don't forsake that. And you don't have to like everybody or be best friends either. But teamwork makes a dream work. Relationships are important, and some of them can be strictly business. Learn to admire people for bravery, drive, intelligence, fortitude, resourcefulness, unconventionality, leadership skills, focus, marketing know-how. You can even like someone's story, but not click with them personality-wise. As long as they aren't harming anyone, there's no reason why you have to be so picky about other humans and their existence. People are not going to match with us always. You don't have to be the Bobbsey twins. You have to be goal-oriented and ambitious and think like a business. Stop nitpicking over things you don't have in common and learn to cherish reciprocal partnerships with others. Let friendship find its way along and along. Stop closing off and shutting down because you're trying to find yourself in other people. Yourself can always improve and grow. Yourself needs to learn continually. New people are new information, new experience points. Holding hands with your neighbors can help you more than climbing over them or just pushing them aside. And stop judging other women who do things differently than you would. I want to be so honest, and this is about my reality and my life path, and you just have to accept that we are different. I think some people are too privileged and out of touch. Think about this. If I choose to do rap as an art form, and I'm Black, and specifically American, and I did not grow up in your demographic, and I was born and raised in the inner city, the birthplace of hip hop, and your criticism is centered around my gender and that there are too many male voices in my work, don't you think that's kind of insane? It's also not intersectional. It's a complete removal and erasure of my life experience and parts of my identity. So I don't always. It's unfair for someone to view me how they feel and by what they expect from me because I don't always look like what I've been through or seem like what I've been through or act like where I've been. And I know it is very hard for people to see me as somebody from where I'm from because they're so caught up in whatever limited experience they had while they knew me rather than seeing me for who and what I actually am. I think when we choose to be critical of others, we have to look harder at their circumstances and not just what we would do if we were them. And acknowledge that we haven't had to live the same lives. You know, and I don't necessarily center men or patriarchy, but I'm not going to deny myself opportunities because, a man is in charge of something versus a woman. If I have an opportunity, I take the opportunity, I learn from it, and then I make my choice to move on in whatever way I feel like moving. I center needing to create and wanting to learn. If someone is willing to teach me, I'm going to open myself up to being taught. Like I said early on, I'll be posting my music on SoundCloud. Most of it I made alone and just want to flesh out more before official release. So I'm giving you a chance and opportunity to listen to it so you can stop saying that I need more music and I need to release stuff, okay? I love my music and I love my individual style, but I'm very particular when I put my stamp on something. I do like working with other people because I relax a little bit more. And I like that I don't have to think of everything by myself. I'm always amazed by the things people come up with, and I'm always inspired. I want to hear different perspectives. I don't always just want to be around people that are just like me, that know exactly what I know and live exactly how I live and have made the same life choices as me. I like differences. I think that's what makes humanity beautiful. So again, thank you everyone who has participated with me in my journey over the last few months. I'm so grateful for your support and I can't wait to share much more of myself with you. And also share merch, demos, and other news. I want to make sure I'm not leaving anyone out though. So if you can sign up in my contact list so you can be the first to know all of the things Big Lady Lee, you can go to the link, linktree/Lenora Light. It's linktr.ee/LENOIRALITE. And come journey with me. Stay lifted. Love you.
They said I'm going somewhere, I know I'm right here, the light here.
sedate from night here. I smile and they glare. My dream, they nightmare.